Hello and welcome to Comparative VPN YouTube channel. This video will be an in-depth review of Surfshark, a widely known, affordable and cheap VPN. Surfshark comes with more than 3000 servers in 65 countries around the world, offers a zero logging policy, allows you to connect an unlimited number of devices on the same account, and of course comes with an array of features that we are going to examine in our Surfshark review. So, without further ado, let's delve deeper into our test and see if Surfshark is worth a shot. As always, we start our review by talking about app compatibility. Surfshark, being one of the best VPNs around, supports a plethora of apps, which is not surprising. As you can see, Surfshark supports every desktop and laptop platform, including Windows, Mac and Linux. Moving on, we have phones and tablets, and here Surfshark supports both platforms, including Android and iOS. Needless to say, these are all native apps, so you don't need to configure the VPN using a third-party software. Instead, you just visit Google Play Store or Apple Store, download the app, sign in, and you're good to go. Apart from basic apps for desktop and mobile platforms, Surfshark goes a step forward, supporting Chrome and Firefox extensions. These extensions are just free proxies, such as extensions from CyberGhost, NordVPN, IPVanish, and pretty much every VPN except for ExpressVPN, which basically gives you an extension in form of a full-fledged app. Lastly, we have smart TVs and gaming consoles. Surfshark is really good when it comes to app compatibility, supporting Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and other smart TVs. Of course, gaming consoles such as Xbox and PlayStation are here, and although not listed on this page, Surfshark supports routers as well. And of course, if you want to set up a VPN on your router, Surfshark has many setup guides which you can use as a help. Continuing our Surfshark review, we need to see how the app looks. What you see on the screen is Surfshark for Windows, and as you can see, the app looks really good and really simple. Oh, and by the way, this is a dark theme, but Surfshark allows you to switch to a light theme in case your eyes don't suffer. So, for the start, how do we actually connect to the server? Well, Surfshark offers a few options. You can choose the fastest server, you can choose the server in the nearest country, which is not the same, but it's very similar, and then you can connect to a server you want from this huge server list. As you can see, Surfshark really improved their server park, so instead of just 1000 servers they had a few months or years ago, Surfshark now has more than 3000 servers, which is really impressive. So, how do we connect to the server? Well, let's take Bulgaria for example. Instead of double click, Surfshark lets you connect literally in one click. Let's see, click on Bulgaria, and as you can see, Surfshark almost immediately establishes a successful connection. To disconnect, just click here. Now, let's see some of Surfshark's greatest features. One of them is multi-hop. Multi-hop is similar to double VPN that NordVPN offers. Basically, this feature routes your VPN connection through multiple servers, therefore giving you multiple layers of encryption and doubling your security. If we click on features here, we can see a few more features that Surfshark offers. One of them is Clean Web, and this is once again similar to what NordVPN offers. It's an ad blocker that also blocks malicious websites, protects you from malware and hackers. Whitelister is here as well, and it's a fancy name for split tunneling. By clicking here, you can choose which apps to route through a VPN tunnel and which apps to bypass VPN tunnel. Then you can do this on the website level, and in this case you'll use this option here. You enable this option and then type the URL of the website you want. Moving on, clicking on settings gives you access to even more features. To access them, you can click on some of these options, for example connectivity, and here we can choose to start Surfshark with Windows, Auto Connect feature, Kill Switch and status notifications. Now Kill Switch is a really interesting feature and almost all premium VPNs have it. Kill Switch is here to disable your internet connection if your VPN connection drops. This way, it prevents you from leaking your IP address or DNS address accidentally, therefore preserving your privacy online. Visiting advanced settings also gives you an insight into a few more interesting features. One of them is a no borders mode, which is great for bypassing the Great Firewall of China. Yes, Surfshark, despite being very cheap, still works in China, and although not as good as NordVPN, Surfshark is more than sublime for this country. Then we have a choice of protocols. Interestingly enough, Surfshark even offers WireGuard, which is a brand new protocol that promises much faster speeds and quicker connection times. As you can see, Surfshark is quite decent when it comes to protocols, offering OpenVPN, TCP and UDP, as well as IKE v2 and Shadow SOCKS. The last feature we want to talk about is a speed test. The speed test lets you test each and every server for speeds and therefore determine the best server for your needs. And it works really simple. You just click here, click on run test, and boom, Surfshark starts analyzing all the servers. In this part of our Surfshark review, we need to go over a speed test. Surfshark isn't exactly known for the fastest speeds, however, its performance was never a problem. Surfshark is stable, offers decent connections, and you rarely, if ever, encounter any crashes or disconnects. What you see on the screen is our native internet speed. Bear in mind that we are located in Europe, so in this speed test we are going to test two servers. One is located in Europe, in Germany, and the other one is located in the USA. So basically, we'll first test a server close to us and then we'll go overseas and see how well Surfshark performs. So once again, we open the app, scroll down and find Germany. We can click on this server here and Surfshark will establish a connection quickly. Then we return to the website and click on Go to initiate a speed test. Interestingly enough, when connected to the German server, Surfshark doesn't even decrease our download and upload speeds. Although the ping is a bit higher, our download and upload speeds are intact, and of course this is a really good result. Now let's open the app once again, disconnect from the German server, and then scroll down and find the USA. We'll use a server in Boston, and let Surfshark connect to the server. Now back to the speed test website, we click on Go to initiate the speed test last time. After the test is finished, we can see that our speeds in the USA aren't exactly the greatest. Sure, these are not terrible speeds, but it's still a significant reduction. To digress, Surfshark VPN is a bit slower than NordVPN and a lot slower than ExpressVPN. Still, do we think that this is a terrible result? No, in fact, it's pretty good for a VPN that comes at a price this cheap. Speaking of price, if you're looking for a budget VPN, Surfshark might be a good deal for you. Well, if that's the case, you can get Surfshark at 83% off by using the following link: comparative-vpn.fr/surf. Or perhaps you can just click on the link in the description below and get Surfshark for a really low price. The next thing we want to talk about is Surfshark's streaming capabilities. As said earlier, Surfshark is a really decent VPN, but is it good in terms of streaming? Well, let's see. What you see on the screen is our native Netflix catalog. However, the biggest and the best catalog of Netflix is the one in the USA. So to see if Surfshark can actually unblock Netflix US, we'll connect to the US server, let it be Boston once again, and then minimize the app and refresh the page. Upon refreshing the page, we can see that Netflix still works. So let's see if we can actually watch a movie or a show. Let it be Witcher, for example. We click on Witcher, and as we can see, Netflix works flawlessly. The last streaming platform on our list is BBC iPlayer. BBC iPlayer is a UK-based streaming platform, so to test this platform, we need to connect to the UK server, which we already did. Now, let's see if we can actually watch Peaky Blinders. Let's click on play. And finally, let's click on play again to see if we can actually watch this show. As you can see on the screen, Surfshark effortlessly unblocks BBC iPlayer and lets us watch any shows or movies on this website. So in conclusion, is Surfshark a really good VPN for streaming? It really is, and it even manages to beat CyberGhost in this regard. For a VPN with an affordable price, this is an amazing result. Surfshark is based in the British Virgin Islands, which is the same location where ExpressVPN is based. As we already know, ExpressVPN is a really secure VPN, and part of this is due to its jurisdiction. Surfshark has a lot going for it, especially when it comes to security features. As we can already see on the screen, it has a strict zero logs policy, an automatic kill switch, multi-hop, no borders mode, private DNS and leak protection, and even military-grade encryption and camouflage mode. All of these features make Surfshark far more secure than any other cheap VPN on the market. It's pretty obvious that Surfshark is very secure, but what about its privacy? Well, for that matter, we need to check its privacy policy and see if it's a zero-log policy or Surfshark still keeps some logs. Surfshark even has a dedicated page to its zero-logging policy. We can see that Surfshark doesn't log IP addresses, browsing history, used bandwidth, session information, network traffic, connection timestamps, and pretty much any compromising information. But now the question is whether or not this VPN has an external audit. The answer to this question is yes. Unlike ExpressVPN and NordVPN that have their policies audited by PricewaterhouseCoopers, Surfshark went for a different approach. Their auditor is the company called Cure53, and it's a German company that's well respected in the world of cybersecurity. Surfshark ticks all the boxes when it comes to privacy, security and safety. It has a plethora of protocols to choose from, great security features, a zero-logging policy, which is, on top of everything, independently audited by Cure53. So, in short, Surfshark really won't disappoint you. To prove its security, we decided to do an IP and DNS leak test to see if Surfshark is really secure and safe as it claims to be. First, we'll use the UK server, which we used for our streaming test. Then we visit a website called ipleak.net, and here we can see that Surfshark actually doesn't leak any IP or DNS addresses. Another test we did was on the website called dnsleaktest.com, and here we can also see that Surfshark doesn't leak any DNS or IP addresses, showing us exactly the IP address from the UK. Just a few months back, Surfshark didn't really have an impressive server network. Now, as you can see, Surfshark managed to get more than 3000 servers, which is a really impressive number. Most of its servers are based in Europe. However, in the Americas, for example, Surfshark covers a decent number of countries, including Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Paraguay, and other countries. Surprisingly, Surfshark even has servers in Middle East and Africa, and these include Libya, Israel, South Africa, and a few more. Lastly, servers in Asia Pacific are also pretty good. Surfshark covers Australia, India, Japan, New Zealand, and plenty of other countries. Every great VPN on the market has a great customer support team, and luckily, Surfshark isn't an exception. If you visit their help center, Surfshark will let you read from a variety of guides, frequently asked questions, and general info. But if we scroll down, we can see that Surfshark offers two methods of contact. One is live chat, and the other one is to submit a request. Live chat, of course, is the fastest one, and here, as soon as you type in a request, the customer support team agent comes and responds. Submitting a request, however, is a bit slower option, and if you're not in a hurry, it might be a decent choice. So far, we didn't have any issues with Surfshark support, and every time we asked a question, the agent from the customer support team was very pleasant and knowledgeable. Although the provider doesn't brag about its torrenting capabilities, it's true that Surfshark allows for P2P activities, so you can use each and every server to enjoy torrenting. Unlike CyberGhost, for example, which has dedicated P2P servers, Surfshark servers are all P2P friendly, so regardless of which server you're using, you'll be able to download torrents safely and securely. Before we conclude our Surfshark review, it's time to talk about prices. As mentioned earlier, Surfshark is a really affordable VPN, which you can immediately see as soon as you look at its pricing. The 1-month plan is very expensive and it costs exactly the same as ExpressVPN. But the best deal is a 24-month plan that comes with 83% off and you get 3 months free on top of that. As you can see, it costs just $221 a month, which turns out to be just $60 for 2 years. This is really good, and given its features and overall performance, you definitely get a lot more than you pay for. Then we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which lets you get your money back if you don't like Surfshark for any reason. So if you don't like it or you don't need it anymore, for example, you can just use this customer support widget here. Click, type in your refund request, and they'll give you your money back in less than a few hours. Of course, as we mentioned, you can easily get this Surfshark's deal by clicking on the link in the description below. To conclude our Surfshark test, we really think that this VPN offers an outstanding value for the money. It has a lot of servers, lets you unblock Netflix, BBC iPlayer, ABC and many other streaming platforms, and on top of that, Surfshark will let you download torrents freely, it works in China, has really good customer support, and offers easy to use apps for every platform. Now, what about its downsides, you might ask? We didn't talk about many downsides, did we? Well, as you had the chance to see, Surfshark really isn't the fastest VPN out there. In our speed test, it's been vastly outperformed by CyberGhost, NordVPN and ExpressVPN. Moreover, when it comes to the router support, it's not really the best choice, especially when compared to NordVPN and ExpressVPN. In the end, is Surfshark a perfect VPN? No, it's not. But do we recommend it? Yes, we do. So, that was all for today's video. We hope you liked it, and if you did, make sure you subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and of course, if you need a really cheap VPN, now you know which one to get. See you in the next video. Bye!